So they said to him, "What sign can you do that we may see and believe in you? What can you do?" So they said to him, "What sign can you do that we may see and believe in you? What can you do?" Looking for signs. Looking for sign or signs. The conversation between Jesus and those who came to him, they said to him, "What sign can you do that will make us to believe in you?" Therefore, they were looking for sign. What is a sign? Sign is a piece of evidence to show, to demonstrate, to portend that someone is he who is claiming to be, or to show that something is real. In this sense, sign could be a wonder, a miracle, a supernatural occurrence that will authenticate somebody or something. As a matter of fact, showing signs or giving signs, people in the ancient Near East, that's how people demonstrate who sent them, especially those who were sent by God. What sign can you give us? People who are looking for sign. We recall in the book of Exodus, chapter 4, when God was sending Moses to Pharaoh, he was filled with unbelief. And also, even when he went to Pharaoh and the people of Egypt, or the Egyptians, God gave Moses 3 signs that he will demonstrate to show them that it was God that was sending him. First one, he told him, when you go to Pharaoh and to the Egyptians, you have your staff, that is stick. Strike it on the ground, it will become snake. First sign. Second one, you take your arm, put it in your armpit, bring it out, it will become leprous. The third one, go to the river Nile, you pour water from the river Nile onto the dry ground, it will become blood. 3 signs. Now, when Moses went to the Pharaoh and the Egyptians, he performed these 3 signs. In spite of it, Pharaoh and the Egyptians didn't believe in God. I will return to this point. in the midst of what sign is a pointer. Sign is not the real person. Sign is not the real message. Sign is a pointer to the real person. I used to see a signboard when you want to come into Epiphany. It is written, Epiphany Catholic Church. It is a signboard showing you where Epiphany is. And when you come to Epiphany, you see the worship center. The signboard at the entrance is not Epiphany. So sign is always a pointer to something that is greater. This is not the first sign. This is not the first time people are looking for sign. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 38, people said to Christ, "Give us sign that we should believe in you." And Jesus replied, "You wicked generation, you are seeking for sign, but the sign that will be given to you is that of Jonah." In the gospel, people said, "Give us sign that we should believe in you." Dear friends in Christ, looking for signs is not far from you and me. Especially in this contemporary world where there are so many signs, where there are so many denominations. People, you go to television, you see people performing signs and wonders. You go to newspaper, you see people in churches performing signs and wonders. And whenever you see them, they are very, very attractive because of the sense people they would like to see. It's not only Christ can give sign, devil can give sign. In the episode where Moses went to Egypt, when he performed the 3 signs I narrated before, Pharaoh went and called the magicians. The magicians. Pharaoh went and called the magicians, and he brought them out and told them, "Perform signs." They also brought their staff and struck it on the ground. It became snake. The sign Moses was giving, magicians, they also gave signs. But eventually, the serpent, or the sign of Moses, the serpent that came from the sign of Moses, swallowed that of Pharaoh and the magicians. One of the characteristics of those who seek for sign is seen in the first reading. People, they grumbled. Going back, you have to check in your dictionary what is to grumble. Grumble is to complain in a bad-tempered way. They complained. They grumbled. Why did you bring us here? We would have been in Egypt, where we eat cucumber and salad. Dear friends in Christ, whatever that had happened in the first reading, eventually a sign was given to them, bread coming from heaven. Recall what I said. A sign is always a pointer. A sign is not the reality. Signpost at the entrance of Epiphany is not Epiphany. Now, Jesus in the gospel wants to tell people that you should live beyond sign. Sign is for temporary satisfaction. It doesn't last. It's Jesus that lasts. And that is why at the ending of the gospel, he brought the utter revelation of himself. I am the bread of life. We're going to sing it now at the preparation of the gift. So, do you see that? Jesus, the utter revelation. Look at me now. I'm Jesus. You don't need to look for any sign. I am the sign sent by God. I am the sign sent by God. God has given every sign in me. God has spoken everything in me. Hebrew 1:1. In the time past, God has spoken to us in many and various ways. But today, he has spoken to us in Christ. There is no need, again, looking for sign when you are with the person, the sign himself. St. John the Cross, St. John of the Cross, in his book, The Ascent to Mount Carmel, he says, those who are looking for signs are making themselves to be foolish, or they are exhibiting foolish behavior. And secondary, those who question for sign, those who question for vision, those who question for revelation, they said, no, those guys, they are exhibiting foolish behavior. And they are also offending God by not fixing their eyes onto Jesus. Not fixing their eyes onto Jesus, who is the sign itself. Recall the consequent clause of the sentence we began. They said, we want you to give us sign so that we would believe. Do you predicate your faith on signs? Temporal things, things that will not last because of your senses. That is why in the second reading, St. Paul said, no, you don't need to behave like this, like pagans. It is not what you learned in Christ. What you learned in Christ is to fix your eyes unto God, unto Christ, who is the author and the finisher of your faith. looking for signs.